We can all benefit from proverbs from our elders. Africa is the birthplace of human civilization and home to some of the most ancient wisdom on the planet. The continent of Africa is an extremely culturally rich region and home to over 2,000 languages, 3,000 ethnic groups, and numerous belief systems. The Book of African Proverbs and Wisdom Volume 1 from author J.P. Martin, available on Amazon, is a compilation of over 100 ancient proverbs and words of wisdom from the continent of Africa. This must-read book provides a diverse and expansive collection of timeless, wise sayings and knowledge which have been collected from every region of Africa. This book is perfect for anyone interested in learning more about the African culture and expanding their knowledge of human experience. Order your copy right now on Amazon. The Book of African Proverbs and Wisdom Volume 1 from author J.P. Martin. Go to Amazon.com and get your copy today.
Learn the ins and outs of IT and launch your IT career in just a matter of weeks with the help of Lifting the Veil IT Academy.
I took Lifting the Veil Academy with subs. Took a while, but I'm here. I made it. I'm now an SSRS developer. I started on the 13th, making a rate of $48 an hour.
Sign up for a free consultation and see where this industry could take you.
To learn more, go to www.ltvacademy.com. That's www.ltvacademy.com.
Alexis here, coming to you with an awesome sale of 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com.
I provide services like digital art, logo designs, packaging designs, web designs, social media flyers, and much more. If you're an entrepreneur with a business or a startup company, make sure you take advantage of this opportunity,
getting 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Saturday is going well, or Saturday here in Atlanta. Do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Do me a favor again. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. And let me give this disclaimer before we get started. I'm not trying to cause dissension I butchered that word. Yeah, I know what I mean. Okay. I'm not trying to add fuel to the fire. There we go. Okay. But there's just certain conversations that need to be had. All right. There are certain topics and conversations that need to be had. And one of them is this, why all these immigrant tellers all in our business? Why they in our business? And I agree to a point that if them being in our business is counterproductive or going against what we stand for and what we're trying to accomplish, which I don't know, because being ADOS FBA, by definition, again, we're all over the place. There is no code. So that's why when, this argument comes up that the immigrants are off code and in our business, like, there is no code. There is no set code of conduct when it comes to Black America as a collective, or ADOS, FBA, whatever you want to call it. There is no code. The only code that exists, exists that we follow as far as a majority is vote Democrat come election. That's it. That is it. That is it. Everything else, we're not on code. But it's a slippery slope when I hear this, why they in our business argument. And the reason why I say that is the United States of America, the country that, Black Americans, we fought in every single war in existence. We served in the military. We are part of, the U.S. government and we play roles in which we affect and impact foreign policy of other countries. And I'm going to give an example today of an ADOS FBA damn near almost kicking off because of his mistake, and he apologized because he was in the business of South Africa. Okay. And this mistake could have kicked off a war in Africa. This mistake, and I'm going to get into it here, and he apologized, but still, this was a serious allegation that he brought up against South Africa, claiming that South Africa was selling arms to Russia. And he had to backtrack, and it was pretty much on a oops, my bad. Do you know how serious that is? How serious? And even if South Africa was selling arms to Russia, that's their business. That's their business. This is the reality. If you are walking in the blessings of your life each and every day, let me pull this mic. Let me get close to the mic. If you are walking in the blessings of your life each and every day, if you are doing the right thing, if you truly have favor, if you're truly God's people, it don't matter who get in your business. Whatever you are trying to accomplish is going to happen. No matter what. Whatever obstacle or roadblock is in your way, you will overcome it and you will accomplish what your main goal or objective is. In this case, it's reparations. So why even focus on the so-called immigrant tethers in their opinion? It shouldn't matter. If you're truly a powerful people and a blessed people, they should not get in your way. It doesn't matter what they think. Again, it does not matter. Their opinion does not matter. That's the point I'm trying to make. Who cares? Start focusing on them. And the thing is, the amount that is in the ADOS FBA business is so small that it doesn't even matter. That's why when this argument comes up, it's such a just whack argument. But before we go fully into the topic, got a couple of announcements. Listen, if you want to roll to Africa, okay, if you are a last minute person like me, and you're like, you know what, man, listen, we got a trip coming up to Senegal. We're leaving this Sunday. All right, we're leaving this Sunday. Headed to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. Again, headed to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. If you want to roll with us, last minute, May 21st to the 30th, come and join us in Senegal for the Jazz Festival. Would love to have you all. Again, would love to have you all. Also, we got Nigeria coming up in August 6th to the 15th for the Oshun Festival. And then we got Zanzibar coming up November 12th to the 21st. Come and join us, y'all. Come and have a great time in Zanzibar, in Nigeria, and in Senegal. Come and join us, family. We'll love to have you all. Go to Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Again, go to Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. Here we go. Let me pull this up real quick. What's your South Africa? Here we go. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. We'll start here, and then we'll get into the. Oh, why did I pressed the wrong button? Why I pressed the wrong button for? All right. South Africa summons U.S. ambassador over his claims it is arming Russia. Foreign Ministry says there is no record of approved arms sales after allegations by Ruben Briggity. Who is Ruben Briggity? We'll look him up here in a second. South Africa's foreign ministry has summoned the U.S. ambassador over allegations he made that the country had provided arms and ammunition to Russia for its war in Ukraine. And this is my question. Now, this is my question. Is South Africa packing arms like that? I mean, is South Africa really packing arms and ammunition and weapons like that? South Africa? Like, this is something I didn't know. Because we're always criticizing, the lack of sub-Saharan, Africa and their weapons and their arms and the lack of the military might. We're always, criticizing that. So you trying to tell me that South Africa got, them drones and them weapons and all that to the point where they're arming Russia? Usually it's the other way around. Usually is Russia arming these African countries, not the African countries arming Russia. This is something new. Amid the diplomatic fallout, South Africa's Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor would also speak with U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, as South Africa's Department of International Relations and Cooperation said in a statement posted on Twitter. The U.S. Ambassador Ruben Briggity said at a press conference on Thursday that South Africa had loaded weapons and ammunition onto a Russian vessel, which is under sanctions, at the Simonstown Naval Base near Cape Town in December last year. The arms were then transported to Russia, Briggity said. He called South Africa's arming of Russia fundamentally unacceptable. See why are you in Russia's business? See, why are you all in the business? Somebody said, yeah, SA had them from the apartheid days. Dude, apartheid was what, 40 years ago? 30 years ago? Apartheid was what, 30 years ago? I disagree. Somebody said South Africa has the biggest military industrial complex in entire Africa. I think it's Egypt. We can look it up, though. I could be wrong, but I think it's Egypt as of now. Because, South Africa was going nuclear, but I guess part of the deal Nelson Mandela made was like they'll stop the nuclear program in exchange for freedom, in exchange for give us free. Give us free. We'll stop the nuclear arms program in exchange of give us free. Yeah, I think it's Egypt. I think Egypt has the hardest military, strongest military in Africa. So, after Brigadity's comments, the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa confirmed an investigation was underway into the visit by the Russian cargo ship. He said that investigation had started before Briggity went public with its accusation, and it will use any evidence U.S. intelligence officials had over the alleged arms. His office said in a, see why they all up in their business. His office said in a statement, there was currently no evidence that arms were loaded onto the ship in South Africa. The Foreign Ministry said in a statement that there was no record of an approved arms sale by the state to Russia related to the period incident in question. The Associated Press has independently verified that the Lady R did visit the South African naval base from December 6th to 8th, as Briggity claimed, and that it is tied to a company that has been placed under sanctions by the U.S. for transporting weapons for the Russian government and aiding its war effort. The issue threatens to seriously strain the relationship between U.S. and one of its key African partners. Moriela says South Africa will issue a démarche against Briggity for its allegations, a diplomatic term that refers to a formal complaint. He also said in his Twitter post that South Africa values the relations we have with the United States of America. They're cordial, strong, and mutually beneficial. Ramaphosa's office criticized Briggity on Thursday for making allegations public. South Africa's position on the war in Ukraine has troubled the U.S. and other Western nations. See, you guys are noticing the shift. You guys are noticing a shift now. 20, 30 years ago, any African. So why was Patrice Lumumba assassinated? The reason why he was assassinated was because of his links to communist Russia. Same thing with Thomas Sankara, same thing with a lot of these African leaders. So you're noticing a shift now where these African leaders are like, listen, you're noticing a shift now where these African leaders are like, listen, we're going to do business with Russia. Ain't nothing you can do about it. So what? You're going to be upset. Because now they got Russia, they got China as far as business partners. So they're not threatened by the U.S. anymore like they were back in the day. Because if this was 30, 40 years ago, Cyril Ramaphosa would have been assassinated by now. You know, I'm just... could have, you know, you guys know what I mean. I'm just saying. South Africa's position on the war in Ukraine has troubled the U.S. and other Western nations ever since its abstained last year in a UN vote condemning Russia's invasion. South Africa stated it would take a neutral stance over the war, but critics said it had an effect sided with Moscow. After hosting the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov for talks in January and allowed Russian and Chinese warships to use its waters for joint naval drills off its east coast in February. The exercises coincided with the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The South African government has also indicated it would be unwilling to arrest the Russian President Vladimir Putin if he visited, as expected, for a meeting of leaders of the BRICS economic bloc in August. Despite the International Criminal Court issuing an arrest warrant for him, South Africa is a signatory of the International Court and is obliged to arrest Putin if he sets foot on its territory. South Africa has a historical relationship with Russia owing to the former Soviet Union support for the ruling African National Congress, when it was a liberation movement fighting to end the apartheid regime of segregation that oppressed the country's black majority. Hold on, but there was another article I wanted to read too. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, that's crazy. Here we go. South Africa says U.S. ambassador apologized for alleging country supplied arms to Russia. South Africa says it has no record of an arms sale, and President Cyril Ramaphosa has ordered an inquiry. On Friday, the White House National Security spokesman would not be drawn on details of the allegations. Here we go. Let me read this part. Writing on social media after meeting the foreign ministry, Mr. Briggity said he was grateful for the opportunity to correct any misimpressions left by my public remarks. So, and let's look up Ruben Briggity real quick. So Ruben Briggity, at one time, I think he was like the ambassador to the African Union, the U.S. ambassador to the African Union, I think at one time. Let's look him up real quick. Ruben Briggity, here we go. Ruben Briggity, born September 7, 1973, is an American diplomat and academic who has served as the United States ambassador to South Africa since 2022. He was the vice chancellor and president of the University of the South in Sewanee, Tennessee from 2020 to 2021. Native of Jacksonville, Florida. Went to Sandalwood High School. I played ball with some guys from Sandalwood High School. So this is an example of ADOS, FBA, all up in Africa's business. Guys, listen, this is the reality of it. This is the reality of it. We're in a global society and people are going to have their own opinions. How you treat those or address those opinions are completely up to you. But again, like I said, this is an example. ADOS, FBA, all up in the business, trying to start a war. Could have started a war. Could have led to assassination. And I'm sorry, when it comes to just about every CIA or FBI hit on an African leader, ADOS, FBA has been working for the man and playing a role in that. No, but you got to understand, you said it's the government, but again, FBA, ADOS, they brag about their roles in the government. Again, they brag about their roles in the government. Nah, see, y'all, listen, roots in Texas and Mississippi and Chicago. Here we go. Guys, I'll put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in, click on the link. Again, if you want to call in, click on the link. There we go. Links in the chat room if you want to add to the conversation. Come and add to the conversation. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
We can all benefit from proverbs from our elders. Africa is the birthplace of human civilization and home to some of the most ancient wisdom on the planet. The continent of Africa is an extremely culturally rich region and home to over 2,000 languages, 3,000 ethnic groups, and numerous belief systems. The Book of African Proverbs and Wisdom, Volume 1, from author J.P. Martin, available on Amazon, is a compilation of over 100 ancient proverbs and words of wisdom from the continent of Africa. This must-read book provides a diverse and expansive collection of timeless, wise sayings and knowledge which have been collected from every region of Africa. This book is perfect for anyone interested in learning more about the African culture and expanding their knowledge of human experience. Order your copy right now on Amazon. The Book of African Proverbs and Wisdom, Volume 1, from author J.P. Martin. Go.
Alexis here, coming to you with an awesome sale of 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com.
I provide services like digital art, logo designs, packaging designs, web designs, social media flyers, and much more. If you're an entrepreneur with a business or a startup company, make sure you take advantage of this opportunity,
getting 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com.
Go ahead, Brandon. You got to meet yourself, bro.
Yeah. I wasn't talking. What's up, my man? How's life treating you, dude? Long time no talk to.
Yeah, everything's good, bro. Can't complain.
You know? Yeah, so I haven't heard from you. But yeah, man, the whole thing is, I mean, we all know what it is, Dynast. It's just ignorance and hypocrisy, which is what I always say. I feel like I've said the word hypocrisy so many times that it's lost all meaning. But I thought the two xenophobe titans, South Africa and FBA and ADOS, the three, I thought they were all in lockstep. I thought that, last I heard, they was congratulating each other over being xenophobic and blaming all their problems on other black people when really it's their government. This is my question for you, Dynast. big dog. You like you're in favor of BRICS, right?
I am.
Diners?
I support
Okay.
it.
So this is what I'm saying. If you support Russia, right? I just was sitting at the table with some brothers tonight, and we was talking about South Africa and America and all that. Some Kenyan brothers, because I'm in Kenya right now. But if you are down with Russia, you down with OPP, you feel me? You down with China, you down with BRICS. Why do you give a damn whether or not the United States thinks you supply Russia with weapons? See, that's the funny thing that I don't understand about these different nations when they come out. Yeah, we down with Russia, we down with China, we down with this country, down with that country. Okay, you down with them. So if the United States says, hey, you supplied Russia with weapons to fight against Ukraine, shouldn't you just flip them the bird and be like, oh, well, we did it now, so what? Why is it that everyone is still answering to the United States?
Well,
if they've made up...
Well, they said they didn't do it. That's the thing.
But what the Diners, you down with the University of Georgia, right?
Right.
Okay. So why the hell you give a damn what Auburn think? Why do you care what LSU think?
That's not to say that's apples and oranges. We're talking.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Apples and oranges.
Bruh, if you pick your side, why do you care what the other side think, bro? Please explain to me. If I come out, I'm down with Russia. I'm down with China. No, I will not arrest. See, if you say I'm not going to arrest Putin if he steps on my soil because I'm neutral and I'm not, my name is Bennett and I'm not in it, I get that. But that's not what that idiot Cyril Ramaphosa said. He took a side, which you know me, I tell Africa to stay neutral. You play both sides against each other. You know what I'm saying? Forget taking a side publicly. It's not our business. This dude took a side. So if he took that side, Diners, this is my question. Why does he give a damn whether or not the United States thinks he gave Russia weapons?
Well,
that's his ally.
Well, let me answer your question, because the United States and South Africa still have diplomatic relations. So
that's fine. But he took, just one second, Elvis. Listen, this is what he said. We got diplomatic relations, right?
Right.
But F that. F what you think about Russia. F what y'all saying about Russia. I'm taking Russia's side. They publicly said that. You didn't see Germany, trying to back out and deny giving weapons to Italy during World War II. You didn't see the Japanese denying that they got oil from sympathetic countries, and they gave aid to countries that they supported in World War II. If that's your dog, why do you care? Even if you didn't give it to them, why do you care if they think you did?
But like I said, I don't know what diplomatic relations Japanese and America had during World War II.
Can I say something real quick, please?
Go ahead.
I'll go back to Nelson Mandela. He made a statement a while ago. He said they expect their enemies to be our enemies. We have brains. We can think for ourselves. We can make our own friends. So I think that's been kind of a policy stance for most South African governments. They have their own interests and they're aligned with where they feel they're best suited. And secondly, let me say this. If you know anything about South Africa, there are, quote unquote mercenaries groups that comes in and bring arms from, Eastern Europe and things like that to protect the upper white, class in South Africa, because since apartheid, they've been scared to death that the black South Africans are going to rise up against them and take their land and their property, and they're going to lose their wealth. So it's kind of like a stalemate in South Africa, where if South Africans are going to take back the country, especially in terms of the economic power of that country, it's going to be a lot of bloodshed. It's going to tear that country apart. So because those guys have so many armed groups that's guarding them, that if any movement is made against them, it's going to be a lot of bloodshed.
Man, that doesn't even have. That's totally irrelevant to what we're talking about, Elvis.
Hold on, Brandon. What I'm saying is, if there's arm being moved from I don't know if you've ever heard about this guy called Victor Bout, the guy who they exchanged for Brittany Griner. There's still many people like him who would go into countries and import arms. He was doing the same thing for Charles Taylor.
Listen.
Hold on, Brandon. You made your point. Let me.
No, I didn't. Actually, you interrupted my point because nobody asked my.
Just give me 30 seconds. There are people like that in South Africa right now. People from Eastern Europe who are arms dealers who deals in arms. So if the South African government is denying that their government transported arms, it could be arms that came from South Africa that the U.S. traced to Russia, but it may not be from the South African government. So it may be arms dealers that's in South Africa who's doing that. That's the point I
I'm
wanted to make. Go
asking
ahead.
the simple question to all these people who are intelligent. If they're sitting at the BRICS table, if they've come out and said, damn the United States, we are on the side of Russia. Julius Malema came out, we choose Russia, all this stuff. Why do they care if the United States thinks that they gave Russia arms?
Already answered your question, Brandon.
No, he did not.
Yeah, I
Nobody.
answered your question.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
You said because they have diplomatic ties to the United States. I
Yes,
just
exactly.
already.
And that was the answer, bro. You just didn't
That's the
accept
answer,
it.
Brandon. That's
You just didn't accept
you
it.
want to hear, but
Bruh.
That you
Do
didn't
you
accept
real-
the answer, bro.
you
Do
didn't
you
accept
real-
the answer.
That's like me telling
you-
your head about to get cut off, bro, and you say no, it's not, bro. It don't
Bruh.
really matter. At the end of the day,
Bruh.
you didn't accept the answer, but it's gonna happen.
If the United States is currently at beef with Russia and China, when you say that you choose their side over the United States, you're already saying that you're not tripping off the diplomatic ties.
No, it's about interest, Brandon. It's about interest.
Brandon, we're not about to go.
Brandon, bro, like you being
No,
real
I'm
crazy.
just-
We're not,
I'm asking you-
we already gave you the answer, Brandon. We're not about to
I'm
go.
asking you, Dynast, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Diplomatic ties means, look, man, I got diplomatic ties with this side. I got diplomatic ties with this side. I'm not about to go out on a limb for either side. I'm going to stay neutral to maintain diplomatic ties. This is politics. I'm going to do diplomacy. I'm not going to come out against another. I'm not going to come out against one side with the other, or, the other way around. That's not what South Africa did, bro. South
No,
Africa
but even
clearly came
even
out
voicing your
against-
support,
Brandon.
voicing your support is
It
not a
did what
crime.
the U.S. do, bro. It did. It looked out for
voicing your
its
support is
interests
not a
only,
crime,
bro.
Brandon.
Like I don't think you like the United States. They literally say we don't have no friends. We only have what is it? Not permanent ally. What was it? Permanent interest, right? That's what the U.S. said. We have no friends. We only have permanent interest, right? That's what they said. They basically said, well, our interest is I think because I understand this stuff because I actually understand economics. I really do look at trade a lot, right? A lot was the majority. I think it was 60% of the was the steel industry that the U.S. actually gains comes from South Africa.
You guys clearly don't understand anything, because if you look at the United States of America, 4 black males with a brain in their head, the United States is claiming to not have any animosity towards Russia while still supplying weapons to Ukraine. So is the rest of Western Europe, who Russia is still giving oil while they still give weapons to Ukraine. What I'm telling you is, if you guys get your head out your ass and look at things for what they are, you can still give weapons while saying, hey, I ain't got no beef with you personally. So why are they
giving weapons to Ukraine is not an aggression against Russia.
Elvis, turn your mind on. Turn your mind on.
Bro,
we gotta
Brandon,
you gotta
Dynast, I'm gonna get off. Dynast.
Brandon, we're moving on, brother. You just want to argue. You just want to argue.
No, I don't want to argue.
Yeah, you do, bro.
Go ahead.
What's going on? What's going on, Dynast?
Go ahead, bro.
What's going on, Dynast?
What's up, brother?
Well, Salon, brother. How's the new airport, man? I left before.
You know what? The new airport is nice, but the fuckery is still there. So, yeah,
That's Africa, bro. That's always gonna be something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm about to go in another. I'm about to go back in another 3 months. I was there in February. Yeah, well, I'm about to go back in another 3 months. But anyway, on this FBA thing, like, for example, I know some people in the military that get sent to Africa, and they serve in the U.S. military, but they got to play the judgment between they black and I got a job to do. You know, there are people in sensitive areas and whatever have to come up with that judgment. You know, so what I'm getting from the FBA guys, like it was a Marine guy. I don't want to reveal his name. He's working the U.S. Embassy, and he didn't like. They posted him over there to Sierra Leone, and he didn't like it. It was a hardcore FBA talking about they sold them all types of rhetoric about No, we were originated from America. We never came to Africa. That was a personal conversation. But he still had a job to do. It was posted over there in an African country, and he had his job to do. But on a personal basis, you know, we had an open conversation, and he had that feeling right there, like, I'm not one of these people that are da-da-da. And you just have these people that, like, sometimes when you first come to America and you run into people maybe in the DMV or Social Security or these government jobs.
Oh, I hate them motherfuckers, bro.
You see what I'm saying? No, calm down. What I'm saying is I got someone in my family, because I got a lot of African Americans in my family that are married to my peoples, and you know, we hash it out. And one of them treated one guy real bad. You know, when you go to the DMV, you ain't got your license yet, right? You take the test. You came in a car, right? And you took your test, but you ain't got your license yet. And the dude was about to go outside. He was done taking the test and everything, and he just wanted to go to the Mickey D's, get some food, and then come back and wait on his turn to get his license, right? Can you believe this FBA guy came outside? Be like, bro, don't ever get in that car. You ain't got no goddamn license. Don't hop in that car and drive. You see what I'm saying? So you guys, it's a conflict. Some of these people.
He was actually looking out for him. Where
the dude drove to the spot, he didn't have no license.
Yeah, you tell your family member not to be stupid enough to drive without a license.
No, but I'm not trying to tell a family member. Listen, what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, well, a lot of people drive dirty. A lot of people.
But we drive dirty in America,
I'm living in the South. What you know what I'm saying? People drive dirty. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that dirt where you get that Chevy, and what I'm saying, they drive dirty. But
I mean, let's elevate
people know. But I'm just saying though, it's just little things like that. People get in a confrontation with people and stuff, and I got a lot of stories like that. So these it's some kind of from FBA people. I think it's some kind of grudge they got. You see what I'm saying?
It's a cultural divide.
No, it's not. No, let me finish. What I'm saying is, No, I know. Listen, bro, I'm related. I got family members that are clear-cut FBA. Clear-cut. They tell me plain and simple.
African Americans or
African Americans? They're married to my peoples.
Right, but just being African Americans don't mean you espouse the FBA.
No, but the guy, I'm telling you, what I'm saying is they say they are clear-cut FBA, foundational Black Americans, but they're married to Africans, okay? And they tell me we have an open, harsh conversation. They tell me everything from
married to Chinese. It don't mean anything. If you look at yourself as different than being an African, a continental African.
No, okay. Let me put my point across.
Yeah, then I'm gonna pass it to Ghost of FBA.
Let me finish. You understand what I'm saying? We have an open. I won't name their names. You won't name my names. It's an open family conversation. You choose what you choose. Tell no holding bar. No, you don't hold no bars. I don't hold no bars. We hash it out. At the end of the day, we're family. You see what I'm saying? Plain and simple. They tell me clear cut.
No, we don't see what you're saying, nigga. That's
why
we're
listen, calm down, bro. Calm down.
Let me hold on. Let me pass it to Ghost.
I'm calm. He asked a question.
I don't. Ghost FBA. Come on, go ahead.
All right, me personally, I don't see how this is an FBA problem necessarily. Cause me, bro, but you know me, bro. I'm first off, you know what I mean. I did a little bit of military service, so you know I ain't
that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. Y'all be in everybody's business, so why you?
Hold on, bro. But for me personally, bro, I fuck with South Africans. They're strong, bro. If they told me right now, bro, if one South African came to me right now and said, "Hey, bro, can you build me a AR-15 necessarily that can rival the shit that he got in the U.S., bro?" I'll be over there in a minute.
I don't think that little twang you got in your voice is gonna go over real well in South Africa, bro. Just
Bro, you can say what you want, bro. Hey man, I'm telling you, I got 300 blackout, but that shit be through your head in a minute, bro. But put it like this, man. If they called me and told me, bro, right now we will pay you $400,000 necessarily to come over there and give us a sketch rifle necessarily, that shit gonna be built in a minute, bro. Because personally, hey, I put like this, everything I do over here is for business. I ain't one of them quote unquote FBA that I'm in love with America. I'm in love with my people. I ain't in love with America, bro. See what I'm saying?
So like, do you agree with the FBA
my loyalty.
ideology?
Hold on, let me finish. My loyalties to the United States is about as loyalty as the book goes and as my family go. That far, bro.
So who are you loyal to then?
Soon as the US dollar don't benefit me no more, I'm out just like all these other white people in America, bro. Soon as that America don't work for them, they out, bro. And my mind said.
So you got FBA in your name. What does it mean? What are you saying? What are you trying to tell us about your name? Are you against it or are you for it? I think he probably went off.
All right, let me pass the elder. Go ahead, elder. Wisdom never sleeps. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me say this first about the topic. These are people with double minds, and the double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You cannot tell African people not to be in your reparations talk and anything else in America, but yet you all in African business. You're only doing that if you're an agent for your own country. That's the only reason you're doing it for. You're really not serious about your people, whether it's in America or not. That's first and foremost. Now, let me say this little thing y'all was going back with Brandon. Brandon had a point, and y'all also had a point as well. When you decide to say that we're all in, now they could have said we're part of BRICS for trade and a stable currency on this side of the world because we're all so close. Then keep your relationship and stuff with America. But when you're all out and saying we don't care what America says, we're going all in for Russia, we're not going to just stay quiet, then you're risking your diplomatic relationships. Because then you have to, if you're going to do that far out, you say, I'm not concerned. Remember when we had a conversation before about
have you ever heard of the phrase saber rattling before?
When we had
have you ever heard? I'm asking. Have you ever heard the phrase saber rattling?
No, I haven't heard that.
Do you know what that means, though?
What I'm telling you is, you can bring up all the words and phrases you want. The reality is, if I tell Dynas that I'm going to fly no matter what, we're Pacific Airlines, and he can have, and we've had relationships with his crew and everything else that he's provided. He's giving me discounts and long as we do business. But once I say I'm going to do it with someone else no matter what, then I can't be concerned if he says, you know what, you can no longer get your discounts. I can no longer support you in any realm because I put my foot out there. I put my word out there. No matter what, I'm supporting someone else. And I can't be worried when he comes back with that. And then I'll go, wait a minute. I didn't mean it that way. I still want, to have relationships over here. And he's going to say, well, no, you told me that's where you're going 100%. So I didn't tell him that, well, you know what, Dynas, every now and then I may have to do this relationship because only we need when you can't provide. That's what I'm talking about. But you cannot have both things. You cannot say we'll start against, we don't care what nobody says, and then try to protect your relationship. So yes, they have to be concerned if they want to keep their diplomatic relationships. And they have to be right by how they go about it. So if it was about a trade block and one currency on that side to help them trade with Russia, China, India, and everybody else, and that's why we're the S in BRICS, that's what you say. Whether you going further or not, you keep quiet on that part. Because that could be your answer. It's all about just a trade block to try to get one currency to straighten our own currencies as well. But you don't go with all out war and says, no matter what, we're 100% with Russia. And then be concerned.
No, you never say that.
No.
That's what I was saying. That's
what I'm saying. Both of you had a point. All he was saying, if they were saying it 100%,
who said that?
I was saying that,
That's
but you wasn't listening to me. You was too busy shutting me down.
That was the Julian limos and people saying that.
Right,
He's
right,
not
but
all of Africa. He's not all of South Africa. It's
But
true.
sorry, Elder, to cut you off. When did Cyril Ramaphosa ever say we're 100% with Russia?
Bro, he said it.
Really?
And Julius Malema said it. That was about a month ago, a month and a half.
They stable around.
Hold on, one mic. Julius Malema's not even in government, so
bro, he's the opposition leader, bro.
But
that
he's
is
not-
he
but
is
he's
in
not in
government,
government,
bro.
It don't
No, he's in government,
He's
not in the ruling government.
Dynast, he's in government. He's the opposition leader.
He's not in the current. He's not in government.
He's in the
Dynast.
parliament.
He's
Dynast,
Dynast.
but he's not
in
part of the ruling party.
Dynast.
He's not part
Yes,
of the ruling party. He's not part of the ruling party. So what is
No,
it?
Dynast. If Kevin McCarthy say some shit, China takes that seriously. He's within the framework of the government.
Yeah, but he's not. But he's not in the ruling party. When did anybody from the ruling party say that?
Bro, the government. That's like a congressman said.
I'm asking. When did anybody in the ruling party say they're 100% with Russia? That's my question.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. If the congressman comes and says we're with China or we're with this person, that's a part of the government, because you do realize that the president is still at the mercy of the parliament.
But Malema is a Marxist, so he agrees with.
Listen, Elvis, real quick.
I'm asking. When did the ruling party say? That's my question. You're not answering my question,
Dynast, the parliament
you're doing the same thing that you people do. When did the ruling party say they're 100% Russia? That's my question.
What I'm trying to tell you, Dynast, is the parliament is actually the ruler of the government. The president is just the head of the executive branch. It's basic understanding of government.
So that's one person within the parliament, though. That's like saying that you would need a committee vote for that necessarily to have any true kind of power, then, right?
Okay,
right. He's not even a mean opposition.
Dynast, let me ask you a quick question. If Joe Biden has a mental lapse and says, if China goes in and invades Taiwan, we are going to take military action. And then all of his handlers have to come back and say, he misspoke, he didn't really mean that, he made a misstep. What does that mean? He's the president, right? Whatever he says is what we're going to do. No, just because when someone says something, right, that has to be addressed, or it's assumed that other people within the government agree with that. If they don't come out and say, we don't agree with that, we disavow what he said, he was just talking on his own, Cyril never came and said that. The ruling party never came and said that. They let him say it, and they never said nothing about it. That means, in politics, that means
they don't share the same political ideology.
Let me give you an example, guys. Y'all remember when Nancy Pelosi and the other Democrats decided to go to Taiwan, and China told them they shouldn't come over there. They went anyway, and then they took another trip.
I remember that.
Biden did have to go and ease that with China, because within the body of government, people went that didn't have all the say-so, but they represented the United States, and going to Taiwan anyway, trying to force a war or something. And so Joe Biden did have to go and try to calm that down, and that's why the war didn't happen. So within the Congress, they went anyway against China's wishes. And China said, please do not come. So again, anybody within your government that represents your government, ruling party or not, if they sit within your government and they go out and say something or do something against a country, or say that you support a country against your main allies, that country takes that as a whole from the United States threat.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true. Particularly when they got this what is called the one China policy.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on. But the point I'm trying to make is Malema's party doesn't even have a major EFF's not even. I need somebody from South Africa.
No, I get that, Dynast. But what I'm saying,
that's like I
get it, but he's
that's
still
like somebody from the I'm trying to think, not from the Republican Party.
Like the Libertarian or the Green Party.
The Libertarian Party, yeah, the Tea Party,
like
But if they're still sitting in Congress, not ex people, they're in Congress, in what they call their parliament. They are still there, whether he's in the ruling party or not. As long as he has a seat anywhere in that Congress and he speak out, he's still got a big voice in Africa. So America can take his voice to say, whether he do it or not, represents what Africa is thinking based on what he's saying, and it may not be
Oh,
true.
come on, man.
But they
Africa
can,
is
No,
not
that-
they can
monolith.
use that.
Africa
They
is
can
not
use
That's how
that.
monolith.
that's how
One person
government
doesn't
works.
speak for
You
the
got
entire
what you guys are doing is you're trying to deny the way government works. The opposition leader is still a very powerful person within the
He's not
government.
even a
That's
me opposition. He's
hold
like
on,
a
bro.
third-rate
Bro,
opposition in
okay,
South
that's
Africa.
your opinion, but that's your opinion. What I'm telling you,
It's
Mitch
facts,
McConnell.
by
Listen,
numbers.
listen. When Mitch McConnell was the opposition leader,
Okay,
he
here we
held
go.
weight
That's the
globally.
problem. Let me interject. That's the problem right there. Okay, you can't compare Julius Malema to Mitch McConnell.
You can. He's the
No, you
opposition
can't.
leader.
But he's not
That's not the
even
me
like, it's
opposition.
not, like I said, you have
Oh
Democrats,
my
Republicans,
God.
everybody else. Look at Julius Malema.
That's
EFF
exactly-
not even, EFF
that is-
not even like, I mean, that, okay, here we go. Here we
The
go.
DA,
Here we
the
go.
DA is the second
Here we go.
largest opposition
EFF
party.
have 8% of the seats. I mean,
Well, that's not even enough. You don't have no power,
I
bro.
mean, yeah.
You have no
Right,
power,
And
bro.
that's
Okay.
the point
Bro,
I'm making.
they
He's
still have
insignificant.
seats. They still have seats.
8% out of
Bro, you
100.
need a
All right.
controlling interest to even say anything.
All right.
We're not saying that his voice speaks for Africa or the parliament. That's not what I'm saying. It's called perception. And anytime someone want to get you, they would take the voice of anyone, just like 80 women going against Bill Cosby. They don't have to get all 80 to be right. Just one to say they said it to start their situation. So what I'm saying is, no, Julius Malema and his party may not have a big part, but they are part of that. But he had one of the biggest voices in Africa right now, in South Africa.
Do you guys realize that Cyril Ramaphosa probably told Julius Malema to say that, so later on, if things don't work out, he could walk back? This happens all the time. Guys, listen, guys.
Made that up out of nowhere.
This
without no
happens. Listen, this happens all the time in government. They will get someone.
Give us one example.
Oh
give
my
us one
God.
example.
Bro, okay. I'll give you one example. Okay, okay. Remember the people in the Tea Party? Remember that whole movement, Tea Party movement?
Right.
The Republican Party was using the Tea Party as a bellwether to see if people would get on board with crazy radical conservative
But people
ideas.
in the Tea Party were
You just asked. I'm giving you that. Stop. Let me finish. Let me finish. The same way the squad the Democrats use the squad to say crazy radical things to appeal.
Democrats.
That's out.
Bro, do you realize? Oh my God. Okay.
Dude, Julius Malema is a member of.
I don't want to accept it.
No, Julius Malema is a member of a completely different party.
Dynast, they are still all in the same government,
But
bro.
they're completely different parties.
All right.
Tea
Dynast.
Party are they're Republicans. Your girl AOC, the squad, they're Democrats.
Okay, so when it's the United States, let me show you the hypocrisy here. In the United States, if a Republican say something or a Democrat say something, the same Negroes will say, "Oh, they just two wings of the same bird," which is true. They're all in it to preserve the might and power of the United States. They all vote the same on 90% of legislation. So what I'm telling you is, even though he may be in a different party, right? Like when he came out in support of the LGBTQ,
that doesn't translate to Africa.
Listen,
man,
Elvis,
Brandon, the point I'm trying to make. Okay, you're right. The argument.
It's controlled opposition, bro. It's controlled opposition.
EFF is not even on the bird at all. That's the.
It's controlled opposition, Dynast. They use the EFF to say things that Ramaphosa can't say, or else it'll result in a riot.
Yeah, proof of that.
Dude, I'm telling you, the LGBTQ thing. Also, the thing with Russia.
LGBT has always been legal in South Africa. It's
Dynast, but what I'm telling you is, they use them to say it because they are the fringe party. They are like the people who could say the things that the main dominant party can't say without getting global backlash. They're the one. I'm telling you, it happens all the time.
Julius Malema has been espousing Marxist views for a very, very long time.
Since I know him, man.
You can't.
Guys, listen. Let's put the link in the chat room. Let's put the link in the chat room. If you guys want to call in, please click on the link.
Bruh, I'm just telling you guys what it is. This is how politics work.
But they don't need Julius Malema to support or come out and express his support for the LGBTQ community when it's already legal.
Bro, even if it's legal, just like in America, nobody's going to vote for a Republican who comes out and be like, yeah, I support the LGBTQ, even though it's legal, Dynast, and you know that.
Let me give you another.
Just because
example
it's
real
legal
quick.
don't mean every side support it, and even the party that championed it, there might be conservatives within that group that don't support it.
Okay, but I do got a question to ask though, man.
I'm gonna go quick.
Who next?
Let me give
We
a
gotta have
quick
some order. We gotta have some
example
order.
real
Who's
quick.
next?
Let me
Who's
give a
next?
quick example again, so we can understand perception from a small voice of a bigger thing and how it's perceived from the country. Let's take the NBA when there's one of the owners spoke out and talking about China and their mistreatment and humane treatment. One guy, and China took offense to the whole NBA and ready to shut them down. The NBA in itself had to apologize and remove this guy. He was not the NBA. He did not own the NBA, but he was a small part owner that most people don't even know about. But when he spoke out against China, China said, "Oh, wait a minute, we're gonna shut you down," and they had to backpedal all the way. So all I'm saying is this: they had to reserve their relationship with China because one guy they took the whole NBA in trouble. Not
the NBA is a private entity, not a government.
Listen, I'm giving you an example how countries take things based on somebody's voice speaking out against something or for something that is not of their interest. That's what I'm giving you an example of, whether small or large. So with the EFF saying they're 8% of something, you remember when this guy was running for president against Ramaphosa, he was on every news channel, every interview by white folks of every kind. So therefore, his voice is still seen as a voice, whether it is credible or not. They use that as perception to say, "Oh, this is the way South Africa think. You're in the government, you're a small part, but you're a big mouth."
Bro, we're
So
sophisticated. We understand that a minority party is not speaking for the entire country. You can't say
Boy,
that.
spell sophisticated.
Nobody will have the perception
This ain't a
that
spelling bee, bro.
a small party will have, that would speak for an entire country when they're not even in the ruling, party.
That's
So
not what
you
I'm
can't
saying.
say that. America is
Young
smarter
man,
than that. They're
I
more
said,
sophisticated to
no,
think that.
they don't.
Elvis is
not being
purposely
smart.
missing your point.
No, but I do have
Point
I
is
do have a
they
question
can
though.
use that
Wisdom.
to leverage whatever they want to do against South Africa. Not that
Wisdom.
they're
I do
not
have a
smart
question
enough
though.
to know he is. Yes, sir.
Now my question is now can this not be seen as South Africa, just like I said, saber rattling? Like I said, I'm gonna give you the definition since you said you didn't know it, right? It's a display or a threat of military force of a sovereign nation.
Who they threatening?
No.
Who's South Africa threatening?
Hold on, bro. Can you let me finish, bro? Jesus Christ, bro. Like, first off, I don't think you understand. Like, I don't think you really understand. Like, I've been to South Africa, bro. Like, it's like, let me finish. Let me finish, right? It's not gonna take them. It would probably take them. I guarantee, if they really, really want to put full effort into it, a year and a half to be a nuclear power, bro. If they not already a nuclear power already. Bro, like, God, honestly, that switch from, hold on, let me finish, bro. It does not take that long when you already have nuclear power, bro. It does not take that long to switch. They literally had to remember, the United States told them to give up their nukes because because the United States didn't want, quote unquote, Africans to have nukes just in case some shit went left, right? So as I see this, all I see this as a saber rattling and let people understand that you can't come over here and dictate what you gonna do, just like necessarily, right? Iran applied this. The United States will saber rattle at Iran and let them know, quote unquote, you can't come over here and do this. Or Iran wouldn't necessarily do that to the United States and say, okay, you can't come over here and do that. They will saber rattle. Now they may not do anything, right? They still may keep trade relations open just like they did with Trump, right? They still did that, but they still did saber rattle, let you know, don't come over here and think you're gonna run shit. And as I look at it, to me, it's just nothing but a saber rattling. I'm gonna let you know, I got me a sword. Don't think you gonna come over here and run some shit, but it is what it is.
Can I say something about South Africa? Like, when I went to South Africa, I went to Julius Malema's office to meet him. I couldn't meet him because he was like in the village, out in wherever, because he was getting a lot of death threats. Right? It was like leading up to the election. If the guy has no power, why do people want to kill him? Why is he getting like death threats, all this stuff? Like, even though somebody might not be
Brandon,
before you come a grown man, you kill an infant in the crib, right?
I've gotten death threats.
Yeah, me too.
Brandon, how can you ask that question? They want to kill him because the rhetoric he's spreading about taking the lands back from the whites.
It's kind of like,
that's why some people want to kill him.
Look, it's kind of like Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a Democratic Socialist. Within the Democratic Party, there are very few Democratic Socialists. But that guy still gets a lot of support when people actually hear what he has to say. Therefore, he's a threat. Just like RFK, he's a threat. They fear these people have a powerful voice, like PLO Lumumba, right? Those type of people
Brandon,
are
you
used
saying
as a
conservative,
mouthpiece.
you agree with Julius Malema ideology?
No, I don't agree with
Okay,
what he's
then.
talking
Hey, hold
about.
on.
I don't agree with socialism.
We got somebody from South Africa. South
Please,
Africa.
thank
Go
God,
ahead.
bro.
South Africa. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Super
South
Adam.
Africa. She's from South Africa. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Josie, that's you, bro.
Okay.
It's Lozy.
No, it's South Africa.
Okay,
Nah,
South
this is
Africa.
Lozy.
Okay.
I
Listen.
know Lozy's
Okay.
voice.
I know that voice from it. I know
I know that voice.
Let the guy speak. Come on.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Sound like you got
Okay.
Please let the guy
Okay,
speak.
listen. Okay, look. The whole thing of Julius Malema. Look, let me tell you how South African Parliament works. It works like this. One, Malema's party is too small to dictate anything. The ANC is like over 50% of the votes. So whatever decision they make is what goes. So what Malema says, what Malema thinks, has no impact on South Africa. So that's one. And two, the South African government has always been neutral. It stayed neutral, technically. They've never chosen a side. Are they close to Russia? Yes. Historically, that's a fact. Mandela himself admitted to it. They've always been close to Russia and many other countries that America doesn't like. I mean, there's an interview of Nelson Mandela speaking in an interview there in New York, somewhere in America, before he became president. He made that clear. That's not new. So, yeah, that's basically it. Like, there's nothing really special about that, about Malema and company. So, yeah.
But why do you think that's what I'm saying? So they are aligned with Russia, like I said.
Yes,
No, Malema is. Yeah, look. Is South Africa strong allies with Russia?
Let me ask you a question. Since you're in South, let me ask you a question. The country of South Africa, do they have relations with both Russia and the United States of America? And like you say, they try to stay neutral.
Yes, they do. We obviously do. We have 600 American companies here. So we do have a relationship with Russia and America. That is a reality that we're in.
Okay, how many Russian companies do you have there?
How would he?
I don't know.
No, what does it matter, man?
It's like three.
It's
two.
What does it matter?
No, because what I'm saying is, how are you neutral when you're joining a trade bloc with Russia and China?
Because they still trade.
Well, Brandon, look, here's the deal, Brandon. Let me say this. Here's the deal. Right now, China's our biggest trading partner. So technically, we work with all of these countries. We work with Russia, work with China, and we work with America and Europe. All of these blocks. At the end of the day, this is how things are over here. One, I'm not Russian. Two, I'm not Chinese, and I'm not American. I'm South African. So for us, picking sides and playing along to this and that, no, we'll just do whatever's in our best interest. That's what we're doing.
Is the country collapsing?
No. But are we having problems? Yes.
How long have you guys been without electricity?
Today, for me, 3 hours today. Well, yesterday.
So how come Russia and China don't come save y'all since y'all in a trade block with them? They should come.
Yeah, I'll tell you. No one can save South Africa but South Africans.
And relative to other African countries, South Africa is doing quite well. Look at Ghana.
Look.
Yeah.
Look, to be fair on Brandon, South Africa hasn't been, when you compare to other African countries, yes, but things haven't been 100%, like just to be fair there. Like,
no, I know, because I have South Africans who hit me up when things are fucked up over there. They be like, man, the country's doing bad. Do a show about it. I got people over there, so I know what's going on.
Yeah,
y'all even know the lights was out.
Another African country.
Brandon,
let me say this.
You over-exaggerating.
That's the basics. 24-hour electricity.
Hey, no, hold on. I want the guy from South Africa to speak. Go ahead.
No, he made a statement about all the African countries, so I just want to say.
I want the guys calling from South Africa. It's damn near 5 a.m. Go ahead, South Africa.
Hey, I'm in Kenya.
Look. Are we having power issues? Yeah, in recent months, yeah. we've been having power issues. That's no secret. That is a reality that we've been having. So yeah, that is true. But as far as but there is a bit of an exaggeration of our power cuts sometimes. So yeah.
Bro, it's better than Uganda, bro. If it raining out here, that the
What
power go
about
out.
water? Johannesburg got a water shortage, jobs, which is common around all of
Look,
Africa.
Yeah. Look, listen. I've drank water from a tap since I was a kid. Like, I'm born and raised over here in Johannesburg, so water is not like a huge problem. It's never been that.
But then they have a water
Some areas have had it. Some
drought
areas
somewhere.
in Johannesburg. Look, let me give you an example. Let me explain the whole situation. So, some areas, let's say when a power goes out, it affects like the water pumps, but it's not the whole city. It's certain areas where that happens, and that's being fixed.
You guys are lucky compared to most West African countries. So when people come on here and trying to say South Africa is going down the drain because you're having some, infrastructural problems, it's not the case. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria cries about, electric, outage in Nigeria all the time. In Ghana, in other African countries, I won't even mention my country, Liberia, where most people haven't even seen electricity ever. So South Africa is doing well relative to other African countries.
What? I'm talking about the basics. Like 24-hour electricity.
Where are you from, Amara?
I'm out Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone. We got electricity. You know how our electricity is? Because Sierra Leone is the number 2 wettest part of Africa. So we got heavy rains. So when it rains, we have 24-hour electricity because they've got these hydro plants that supplies water. It rains heavily. The second wettest part of Africa. So the only time when we experience power outages is the dry season. That's when it's the dry season. But when it rains for those 5 months, it rains heavily. 24-hour electricity. Water supply, no problem too. Because,
that's a quarter of a year that you have stable electricity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's wet.
We're off top. Let's pass it to Delroy Ellis because he's been waiting. Go ahead, Delroy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask the panel a question, especially Brandon, on why South Africa should not support Russia. Russia helped South Africa free themselves from colonizers. So did Cuba. Why shouldn't they help them? They helped them back in the 70s and the 60s, all the way up to the 80s. So I don't understand. Why shouldn't they support them? Can somebody answer that for me?
Dynast, can I have your permission to answer that question?
Of course, go ahead.
Me personally, I think China and Russia are just gangsters. I think BRICS is just a way for them to launder money without being under the scrutiny and the control of the United States to put sanctions and stuff on them or freeze assets. I don't think this. I know this. Anybody?
Bro, who wrote that? No.
Wait, damn, bro. Let me finish. I don't think this. I know this. I don't think this. I know this because of the history of China and Russia when you're dealing with economics globally. Also, how many African countries are in Russia? Companies are in Russia. How many African companies are in China? How many Africans live in Russia or live in China? I seen China kick a bunch of Africans out when COVID hit, abused them, had them living in the street. At least in America, there's a contingent of blacks here where if America operates in a bad way or in a negative way with Africa, those African countries can then hit us up and be like, yo, this is not good. And at least we could go act a fool like we did over George Floyd or go to the government like, hey, we see what you're doing over here and this is not cool. You have zero leverage. Africans have zero leverage in Russia or China. We got not much more leverage in the United States, but we have some type of representation here. I'm just saying I would put my eggs in that basket. That's where I put my eggs.
I agree with you. Let me tell you why I disagree with you real quick. Let me say this. I agree with Brandon in terms of social, the social justice and all of that stuff compared to the United States and China. But they also have the right to seek their own economic interests. And that's where BRICS comes into play. So if they're trying to, empower themselves economically and bring other countries along with them, including African countries, they have the right to do that. So you can't just go against them simply because they're trying to flex some economic, muscles. But socially, I agree with you on that point. But economically, they're free to do what they're doing.
But I don't see how. Okay, sorry,
Brandon. I understand exactly what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, South Africa is basing mostly their help or their support of South Africa because of what they did for them in the 70s and the 80s. That's what I'm saying. United States was for apartheid. They were with them until they got pressured to leave. They were with apartheid.
Black Americans are Black Americans. Wait a minute. Black Americans are a part of the United States, and we were 100% against apartheid and helped get it overturned. We literally brought the world's eyes to apartheid. So we're gonna cut that shit out.
No.
Black America speak for the entire American government.
Black America made
Brandon
apartheid a household topic.
Brandon, Brandon, I'm from Jamaica. I live in America for over 40 years, right?
Yeah.
Jamaica was the first country, right, to tell the UN at that time to sanction apartheid South Africa. Jamaica did, right?
And who controls the UN? At that time, who was controlling the UN at that time? The United States was.
Of course.
So stop.
Of course.
This is you can't argue with me on that.
Brandon, when South Africa was
and Europe supported US and Europe supported apartheid. They did. Come on now, you know that.
What I'm telling you, when you guys asked about the United States, stop trying to move the goalposts. Now you're talking about Europe. What I'm telling you is, Africans have zero representation in China or Russia. They won't even let Africans go there to live.
They have no reputation here. They have nothing here either.
That's not true. Africans come over here and are very successful. There is way more South Africans living in America than there are in Russia or China.
I'm talking about influence
combined.
They have no say in their government.
Y'all, listen, I'm giving y'all straight. No, hell no. They kicked them all out, and
Not
even that
all of them.
amount,
Not all
bro.
of them.
That's Elvis. That is a microscopic amount. I'm telling you, I'm gonna side with the country that lets me come over, gives me an opportunity to participate in their economy directly. I'm not gonna side with a country that leaves me at the fence and be like, all right, every now and then we'll throw a breadcrumb over the fence for you.
But that was a
United
specific
States
group of
lets
Africans.
anybody
That was
in.
Nigerians though. Not to be funny though. I mean,
You're
like
making
that
it
was
seem
Nigerians
like
that they kicked
America
out.
is inherently good, Brandon.
I'm not saying that.
It's not a choice between good and evil.
The only thing I'm saying, Elvis, is that America allows Africans to participate directly in their economy. There's tons of Nigerian doctors here, tons of Africans from all over the place, bro. You can't do that in China. You can't do that in Russia.
And go back to Africa.
But you can't live there. You can't stay there. You can't even stay in Russia. Why would I put my eggs in that basket?
They're African black people that live in Russia for 40
they have
years.
black people living in Russia, Brandon.
Yeah,
brother.
What you saying,
Black people have zero political influence or power in either one of those countries.
Most black people don't speak Mandarin or Russian.
Fam, they're dictatorships.
That's a problem.
Elvis, no, it's not. They're dictatorships. They haven't had a real election in 20, 30 years. Dude, Xi Jinping been in power for 20 years. Putin been in power 20 years. They're gangsters. They're dictators. And guess what happens?
Black people aren't going there, Brandon.
Dinus, have you ever saw the episode of The Simpsons when they went over to Cuba and somebody had like $1 million or $1 trillion bill, and then they Fidel Castro was like, yo, we're on the verge, we're going to collapse. We no longer can remain communists. And then somebody let him hold. He said, can I see that $1 trillion bill? He gave Fidel Castro the $1 trillion bill. And then he said, can I have my bill back? And Fidel Castro was like, what $1 trillion bill? Hey. And then Cuba was saved. So that's how dictators operate. They don't have
Kagame
any.
is a dictator, but his country is developing.
So bruh, listen. Hey, Rwanda is a village, dude. Stop with the BS. I'm going to copy what Kenyon said about Rwanda. It's a village, dude. Shut your mouth. What I'm telling you is, I just don't feel, listen, I just have a bad feeling about doing business economically with a bunch of dictators. There's no checks and balances. There's no accountability there. Damn, if y'all could do that if y'all want to. Y'all do what y'all want to, fam. You know what I'm saying?
You're fear mongering, Brandon. That's all you're
I'm
doing.
not giving my money to no dictator.
Brandon, you live in Kenya? No, you stay in Kenya now, Brandon?
I'm just here for a while.
Okay, let me ask you something. Were you driving on the roads that the Chinese built?
I'm riding on them.
Right. So, you don't appreciate that?
No, them
they got paid to do it.
Right.
They got paid to do it.
American income do it?
Listen, this is America, Jack. Somebody, if they get paid to do a job, they don't get credit for it. The person who paid them get credit for it. So Kenya built these roads. Next question.
Oh, come on, Brandon.
That's how it is in America. That's how it is in America.
He right on
That's
that,
how it is in
bro.
America, baby.
I know,
Don't
bro.
play.
No,
You
if
can't
you
play
pay
with
for
me.
it, my nigga. If you pay for it, bro.
If you pay for it, it's yours.
The freebies out here, bro.
When your girl get that weave in her hair, when that girl get her weave in her hair, I pay for it, so it's mine. That's what she say.
Can I say something about China? Let me say something about China. Xi Jinping got what is called the Belt and Road Initiative. It's $1 trillion plan because when they were building China, China was behind the United States as far as infrastructure. So
they
China
still behind the United States.
No, but they knocked out in record time.
No, they're not.
In record time,
China is
they
still
built their
80% rural.
infrastructure.
Dudes get a couple of shiny cities and they're like,
No, 66% is urban China. You see what I'm saying? They infrastructure, they lead in infrastructure. You see what I'm saying? United States did when what was the president's name that built the highway system? That's when United States. Roosevelt. That's when United States poured concrete and built this country. But what I'm trying to say is, as far as like poverty alleviation, as far as infrastructure plans, this Belt and Road Initiative that the Chinese got, that they go all over the world, South America, Africa, everywhere, where they're using the same old Chinese guys that built the infrastructure in China. Now they build all the buildings in China. They want them to have contracts outside of China so they could keep up with their skills. That's why they're going all over Africa and other places, and they have $1 trillion sovereign fund called the Belt and Road Initiative.
okay, let me repeat what you said in English. If you have a huge lead on somebody and they're gaining on you, yes, they have to run faster than you to gain on you. But because they're running faster than you trying to gain on you, doesn't mean they surpassed you. It's just like the economics. China's economy is growing faster than the United States, but their economy is not larger than the U.S. economy. So you're looking at
China's economy is 60% of the United States economy.
It is, bro.
60%.
Oh my God. All right, man.
No.
All right.
Hold on, one mic. Let me pass it back to South Africa then to Alan. Go ahead, South Africa.
Losing his mind.
Yeah, look, I just wanted to clarify something. Look, what Brandon was saying is that Black Americans spoke out and like participated in the anti-apartheid movement. Like that was an important movement. Like you can't deny that. But the thing is, Russia. One of the reasons why people respect Russia so much and want to keep Russia as an ally is because Russia actually helped train a lot of people and gave them weapons, really supported a lot of the liberation movements, not just South African liberation movements.
Ethiopia, Angola.
In Africa. So like that's why Russia is revered so much. They actually help.
Thank you.
Russia gets paid to do that.
No.
Listen,
no.
Russia gets paid to do that, bro. Y'all tripping. You got paid.
No, Brandon. No, they did not.
And what, America does it for free?
What
Brandon?
about Cuba?
They don't take resources?
What about Cuba,
also, bro.
Brandon? What about Cuba, Brandon? Did they
What
get
about
paid?
Cuba?
They
Cuba's
died.
a shithole.
They died.
It's a shithole.
They send a lot of
It's
doctors
a shithole.
and they send military help to help.
Thousands of them died helping Africa, bro.
The homie went to Cuba, bro. They third world over there. They had celebrated a bowl of noodles, bro. Y'all acting like these are places y'all would live.
They helped. They helped. They sacrificed their men.
Anybody can romanticize the situation.
They died, bro. They helped Angola, Namibia, South Africa.
Right.
They died. They actually died. They didn't get a penny. They didn't take a penny, and they didn't ask for a penny. They died. They fight and they died, and they took their wounded home and they dead home.
So you think that that means they love you?
Oh my God,
Brandon,
you are something else.
Putting your life on the line for somebody, Brandon.
You're
Let-
something else.
Okay, guys, Alan from the talk. But
That's
anyway,
love,
I just
man.
want to say good night to everyone. I'm going to exit, and I thank you for being all brilliant black men. No matter what your views are, stay educated, stay motivated, stay up, and learn, and try to get back to the topic before it's over, discussing that. But Alan, I'd like to hear you talking as well. So anyway, guys, to all of my young brothers, have a wonderful, wonderful, great evening and prosperity to all of you.
Good night, brother.
Thank
night,
you,
brother. I wish we had more of you guys, man. More of you.
Dinus, I know you don't love me no more, Dinus. I get it. It's okay. But can we? You don't have to show this, but in the back I put an article from China Sun Times or whatever it's called. It's the one that always pops up in your news feed. But basically, they're talking about how the gap between the Chinese economy and the United States economy actually widened because of China's zero COVID policy. So China's government, their economy actually shrank. It's the slowest growth they had since 1976. So all these people who like to say dumb things that are not substantiated, oh, China's economy is bigger, and all.
But that was China's got the second largest economy in the world.
All you need to do is produce some type of statistics. The United States economy is still bigger than China's economy, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
We know that.
But it's 60%.
Yes, we know that, Brandon. It's true.
We know that.
So
what the United States is China.
Bro, the United States.
Hey, what, Mike? We're off topic. Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I don't understand why anybody would have a problem with doing business with China and Russia, particularly countries in the global South, because at the end of the day, they've provided and helped more with infrastructure and things of this nature than the United States or any other Western country has.
Let's say European, bro.
Huh?
Let's say European, because we can say Western. We know what you mean. You can say European power.
Yes, yes, right. That's what I mean. But you know, it's. I think people have this misnomer that somehow the debt trap is China, when in fact the debt trap is and most of the debt
is America.
That has this is American or Western countries that are providing the debt and defaults and things of this nature.
Correct.
I think that and the IMF though. Well, that between the IMF though.
Also,
one that's not the U.S. to me.
Also,
control the IMF?
Well, also the that we need to also look at the fact that we also need to look at the fact that oh God, I lost my thought. Just that quick.
My bad.
No problem. No, I'll come back to me.
No, but I wanted to say like one thing. First off, when you come to how the U.S. is currently set up, man, like the U.S. dollar is kind of fading, bro. You I don't think you understand.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
I just got calls from people out there in was it Texas and Georgia, bro, right? Like I told you, my people come from Georgia, right? They telling me right now they turning Georgia into a sanctuary city.
Yeah, I live in Georgia, bro, and it's true.
So I live next door. What's going on with Georgia?
They turning that bitch into a sanctuary city. I mean, they about to take a whole bunch of Mexicans or people from South. I'm gonna say not Mexicans. That's wrong. Immigrants from south of the border, basically about to quote unquote.
Bro, you off topic like a mother.
Right. A lot of Haitians are coming in too. We're black people. We should be happy the Haitians are coming in.
That's okay. I'll take the Haitians.
I'll take the Haitians.
I'll take the Haitians too, bro.
Dude, ain't nowhere near the Mexicans though. The Mexicans was running across with babies in their arms and shit.
Well, that shit was I seen the video.
But this de-dollarization, I don't think they can knock out the US dollar though. They can reduce it, they can slow it down, but I don't think they can knock it out. Slow it down.
The United States has too many. Listen, the United States has too many people from too many different places for that to happen. I'm telling you, do you know how many people are getting remittance from the United States, bro? Like, they're going to continue to mess with the United States. United States is like that girl who everybody talk about and call a hoe, but every nigga know he a smash, like low key. When he own one of them.
Bitch, as soon as a new bitch come walking, you going to go to her. We already know how it is then, bro.
On that cold Saturday night, bro.
The bridge it's going to take like 100 years for them to get right.
Every empire is just fall.
Bro, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Okay, my thought.
Do empires ever get back up?
My thought came back to me. Here's the deal. The American dollar is in major trouble if and it's a big if the de-dollarization happens, and that's the thing that's the linchpin, right? If we end up with money that with other currency being used for oil, the United States dollar is done. All those dollars that we've been printing with nothing backing them are flowing back into the United States, and you're going to see poverty in the United States on a level that we haven't seen since the Depression.
That's correct.
No, it would be under the depression.
Inflation.
That's correct.
Inflation plus they got AI system that's about to go cut off half the jobs in the U.S. Bro, you gonna see poverty like you ain't never seen out here, boy.
To me, I don't think it's poverty though. It's just things
you guys are
cost too much.
overreacting. You guys are overreacting. We had a global pandemic, right? So definitely there's going to be some sense of inflation, but it's going to settle out. It's not like
not if the dollar is not the petrodollar. If the petrodollar is done, the American
what's going to replace the dollar as being the currency?
They're talking about having a Chinese currency, the yuan or whatever it's called.
The yuan is not freely
and the brick currency. And the brick currency.
It can't be the yuan because China devalues their currency all the time.
If y'all really think that China's about to stop buying oil with dollars, y'all crazy. Like China's still getting money from China's still getting oil.
No,
wait, let me say this.
No,
China's still getting
They're buying it right now. They're buying it in yuan right now to Saudi Arabia. They're buying it right now.
Yeah, they're buying with Saudi Arabia
right now.
And Russia.
Right now.
Yeah. But to African countries, they're buying in dollars.
Yes, Kenya. You're in Kenya. Kenya is using their shilling to buy oil right now, Brandon. You should know that.
Yeah, and that's why the shilling is suffering right now.
Don't matter. It had to have a start somewhere.
That's
Brandon,
true, bro.
Brandon, the dollar is not going to lose overnight. It's not. We know that.
If you see the inflation in Kenya, you'll understand why what they're doing is not
we
good.
all have holdings in dollars on this platform. So we don't want the dollar to be strong.
Brandon, you're very smart. I'm telling you. You're in Kenya talking against Africa. You're one of the smartest men I ever met. You are one of the smartest person I ever met.
Because I'm telling the truth, I'm talking against Africa. That doesn't even make sense.
You see? Brandon, like I said, you're smart,
Africans.
bro. You are smart.
Right.
You got land in Africa. Anything happen to the U.S., you'll jump on the plane and you're going home. But you know that. That's the truth.
Diversification. Diversification.
Yeah, and you're going to use BRICS currency. You're going to use BRICS currency. You're going to use yuan. And you're going to use the Chilean
talking points. That's all he's doing.
No, but what Brandon is doing is what everybody should take a lead from. Look what Dynast is doing. Okay, Dynast has this tourism business in Sierra Leone. You diversify. That's the warning signal right there. Okay, and 70% in the past it was 70% of transactions done in dollars. So the fear is it's going to drop down to like 50%. So what everybody should do is diversify. Put your money in gold. Put your money in Africa.
Don't even make sense.
Put your money somewhere else. Spread it around.
It doesn't make sense because if Dynast is doing business in Africa and he depends on people who live in the United States to buy his tours and stuff, if the dollar is devalued, how are they going to get money to buy his to patronize his business? So that doesn't make sense.
Those people don't live in Sierra Leone. They live in America.
That's what I'm saying. So if the dollar goes downhill, their purchasing power goes downhill. And Dynast suffers from that. That's the point.
No, but the dollar purchasing power is not going down. No. The dollar purchasing power is not going to lose overnight. What they're saying is diversify. You see what I'm trying to say? The dollar is still going to be strong. You see what I'm saying? But don't put all your eggs in one basket. Put some in gold.
Diversify your currency or diversify your businesses.
Diversify your businesses. The dollar exchange rate to the Leones is always going to be high because Sierra Leone we're producing now, but we don't produce everything we need. So we're subject to the shocks of the dollar when the dollar goes up or down. But what we're saying is still enough. Is still strong enough to make Dynast a profit. You see what I'm trying to say? It's not like it's gonna. It was the domineering 75% of all transactions was in dollars. The fear is the projection is going to drop to 50%. But even 50%, is the boss among all the bosses. Because even all the other people might not, you might not have somebody that even have 30% in transactions in their own currency. You see what I'm saying? It's just that
if you guys go with none of us are economists. So let's just say we go with what the economists are predicting. 99% of the economists are saying that the dollar will remain the global currency. They're saying that the chance that the yuan can replace the dollar is virtually impossible, bro. So if it's like people who say if you took $50 and put it in the S&P 500, right? You see on the news when they say, "Oh my God, the S&P 500 dropped 300 points, 500 points." Yeah, oh God, I'm glad I didn't have my money in there. Not realizing that a person put their money in the S&P 500 6 months before it had the drop. If they leave their money in there for 10 years, they're going to come out with way more money than what they put in. It's just a long game type strategy. Black people collectively, we have a very short-sighted view of the world. We don't look in the far future. We don't look way in the past unless it's slavery. So all this is just a low point for the dollar, and it'll go back up. Then it'll go have another low point. This is the same stuff people said in the 80s.
Not this time. Not this time, Brandon.
I'm just saying they always say not this time. They always say not this time.
What we're trying to say is the dollar is still going to be the boss of all bosses. But listen, the dollar dominated clear cut. The closest guy that could come with it was like 10%. They were 90% of all transactions. That high of 90% is going to come down. It's still the dollar is going to be more valuable, but it's not going to be almost 100% of all transactions like it used to be. That's all
the euros and pounds are still more valuable than the yuan. Euros and pounds are
still
more
valuable.
As
far as transactions, there are more transactions around the world in dollars than there's any other currency. That's what we're trying to say. So it was not. That's what we're trying to say. So it still will be the top dog, but it won't have, the whole landscape to itself like it used to. That's all they're trying to say.
It's gonna have a challenge now, bro.
Can I just say something real quick? Listen, this is the first time the dollar had a real threat because of the petrodollar. It's the first time it really had a threat. It never had a threat before. Yes, the dollar would not go down right now. It just won't. But it's the first time there's a threat. First time.
I think when these countries get richer off of the dollar, then the dollar might be under threat. But like, say you're India, right? And you just got this deal with the United States where they're going to send all these new HB1 visas over there, let your people come over, work, make dollars, and then send them back to your country. It just doesn't make sense that countries who can't get as big of a foothold in these countries like Russia and China would actually be dumb enough to go against the United States as the economic power when these countries are basically getting rich off the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Why you're doing this because the United States weaponized the dollar.
Right,
Donald Trump weaponized the dollar.
The dollar is
Joe
not
Biden
backed by
weaponized
gold.
the
It's
dollar.
backed by the United States military complex. That's what it's backed by. But let me ask you guys a question
That's all
quickly.
they're saying.
Let me ask the panel a question, please. Let me ask the question.
Look at Russia.
What does it mean for us as black people if the dollar goes down? What does it mean for us as black people?
Got no assets.
It means our money we're gonna be in a lot of pain, dude. That's
it's gonna happen. There's no choice. It's gonna happen. It will happen.
From an African perspective, this is the time for us to manufacture everything we eat, drink, and everything. Because number one, we're contributing.
Right now?
We have, like Sierra Leone, has to keep dollars in the central bank.
Right.
For exporters, importers that import all this food stuff, all this oil, everything that we need to consume. The government has to keep dollars in their account. If the government, if we produce exactly everything we need in our country, we don't need to hold that many dollars because we don't need to buy from outside. That is the problem. Our manufacturing got to bump up.
Did I tell people Did I tell people not to diversify? Somebody in the comments is like, "Don't listen to Brandon." Dude, I have two.
Say that shit.
Dude, I have a Kenyan shillings account and I have a dollars account in my bank account in Kenya. Like,
hey y'all, listen, we're gonna start closing out here. You know, in fact, let's all do. Brandon, go ahead and close out. You know, we got to close. And listen, shout out happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
That's out here trying to get some extra money, but I feel you.
Listen, I haven't gotten near super chat. We have almost.
No, you trying to get some now, bro. Hey, girl,
I haven't gotten one super chat.
I was gonna send you a super chat, but then you start talking shit in the very beginning. I was like, "Hey,
okay."
I'm kidding. I'm joking. It was a joke.
Super chat.
It was a joke. Dynast, don't always show you love. Don't always show you love.
I ain't taking personal. But I haven't gotten.
Yeah, I'm fucking with him. But yeah, that's true. Y'all do need to support Dynast's channel. Like, I don't know what happened. All the people who view the content, even on my channel, they don't want to send super chats and stuff like that because they busy trying to send super chats to the manosphere and all that stuff. But I'll tell you one thing, Dynast, when you start talking about the dollar collapsing, that definitely ain't gonna boost people's confidence in sending super chats. They're like, man, I need to hold on to these things. I hold on to these dollars, bro. This is why I was trying to save your ass. Talk up the dollar a little bit. They start spreading some money around this bitch, but y'all want to shout me down, Brandon. Shut up.
Evil what?
Dynast, soon as we hang up, I'm gonna send you my support.
Okay, well, you got my You got my Cash App or what you got?
And I'm gonna
stick around a little bit. I'll send you a super chat.
Give me your Cash App.
My boy got five. My boy got a Happy Meal, but we in here, bro.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh Lord.
Shout out to Fitzgerald Stevens with the $4.99 holla. All right, that's my super chat in the chat room. Shout out to Reality with the $5 holla. $ and Mirror.
Let me get my glasses. I can't see nothing.
Jamaicans can't see shit.
Yeah, that's all right.
But but as I was saying personally, when it comes to the U.S. and the quote unquote U.S. dominance, the U.S. dominance has actually been in. It's been in threat basically because of because China's manufacturing ability. Because I don't think if people really understand and really map out how what makes a country dominant, it's your manufacturing ability. Like after World War II, what did the U.S. have that no other country had? It had the strongest manufacturing base on the world. It basically that determines your actual power, right? Not your dollar, your manufacturing ability. So actually, not Russia, but China necessarily is probably the strongest country right now. What second strongest country, right? When it comes to military and manufacturing ability. So what they basically say goes at this point, man. So it is what it is on that one, though. But appreciate it, Dynast. I hope you had a nice Happy Meal.
And shout out to Fitzgerald Stevens. Fitzgerald is actually coming to Senegal with us. Shoot, man, we leave next Sunday. Yeah, we'll leave next Sunday. Fitzgerald Stevens is rolling with us, y'all. So if y'all listen, if you want to join us in Senegal next week, last minute, hit me up. Go to donfo.africa. Go to donfo.africa. We're going for the Jazz Festival. So again, go to donfo.africa. Shout out to Brandon for the Kenyan shillings, 2,000.
Hey, Dynast.
I don't know. I think that's like $2, but it's all.
No, that's $20.
Oh, that's $20. Shout out.
To you. Wait. The shilling is weak as hell right now, so it only took me about $15 to send you 20,000 in shilling. But that's about $15.99. But Dynast, the only person on earth talked down on the dollar and is collapsing and then asked for one, boy.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynast, and search for Huru. Peace.